nhớ trong cái liệt gì cứ tin nên cha sẽ đợi cho phong chi thanh cho mà là rồi xe cái hạt tiền để xí nên lúc xe hơi chuyển chính tôi chơi đã chơi rồi thì tôi cổng bé theo chỉ ta lên đặt xứ nên chẳng ai nên thì nhiệt xe thì trên chỉ tôi chơi đã chơi rồi tôi bé theo rồi bé từ mayor Gerry Dyer mà ông sẽ đợi cho căn gọi đi của trong xe mà là của my name is Michael Paya của trong xe thì mà là của theo đầu ưu tố call MC Lu events nó ấy hạt tiền nên họ mua đắt chi nên sao 我反正天好么天，我也头啥好对那啥个恩子个害了，冷气着一天，我找着。
It is my honor that the committee select me to say a few words to welcome our guests tonight. And it is my honor to welcome and recognize the Honorable Mayor Gerry Dyer and also our Fresno City First Lady Diane Gonzalez. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you. Thank you. 这种这个我还能记得我去的，还能讲了天的点那个啥子呢 ？OK， mà là bây giờ sẽ tại đó này chúa lên số tu cho bé tu mayor sẽ là này và cho supporters và cho và cùng参加trong đó này是内陆家的人都那他参加着 major 的着项目安排那个 blow 我只要老那就大家的母啊没有多。Thank you to all our dignitaries, friends, and supporters of Gerry Dyer for mayor for 2024. And thank you for taking your time to be here to support him and support the Hmong community tonight. And thank you to all of our donors or supporters for your financial support, your time, your energy, for all the food. And I will not be able to call each of you to be recognized. I wish we had that time, but I know that we have over 200 supporters, even though not everyone's here. So to call each of you is going to take a lot of time. But I would like our committee members and our mayor, can you come up to the stage? I'm going to do something a little bit different, okay? So please, Mayor Gerry Dyer and committee members and our supporters, donor, you stay in your seat, okay? Ý là của yo chỉ hồ tàu này chút chút tụ lọ giờ nó khỏi tiền bên tuần là giờ đi chỉ trong tới gì mà bên cho ở ban nhà họ trong cái ốp của tận lệnh rồi nè chỉ giờ lên tại yo hui tu rồi thì tụ nó ban nào lên nó là chỉ nếu xí xí hơn đây hay giờ lên tại là chỉ này cho ở ba thì cho ba tới chỉ tua chỉ tàu nó là này nhớ tới giờ bên rồi mà ở đây Okay, yeah.
I remember that. Maybe we need to be too long. Thank you, it's washed out. Whoever able to walk,
Okay.
Or some taller in the stage too.
The first one doesn't mean he contributed more, okay? We just put on the line, okay? Down the line. Okay, first is Jolie. Joe, please stand up for recognition. Okay, Thai Michael Yang. And this person is not only the committee member, but she and her husband also let us use this beautiful facility free of charge. And Cindy, fantastic. Okay. Okay, Yiling Yang. The next one is me, so I don't have to read my name. Okay. So Dr. Cao Vang. Jensen Wang, Dowlo, one of our MC, Sherry Cruz, Amy Moore, Hao Yan, B. Sateng Yang, Simon Wang, Julie Ying or Mo Ying Wang, Yi Ling Wang, Pakao Li. There's no one left behind, right? If there's one, let me know. Okay, thank you. And I also want to, on behalf of the committee, we want to both our MC, Pai Mai Kuyang and Dao, and also our guest speakers who will be speaking later, Mrs. Kao Li Bang or Mrs. Colonel Van Fong. And also Mr. Chow Yang Kao, captain in the SGU, a captain in the SGU during the war. Okay, and I think we recognize everybody, even though the donors out there are.
The only table had lights. You can see you guys.
我对这呢，古他和这他没有，我要多路线，Look County of Fresno。古他和这叫呢叫gì叫thời能，叫thời叫错路共好，要做 Fresno。重点这个点上毛点错。 都做以上做上咯，我被ตัวรู้ได้จังหรอตัวโจรู้ได้จากอเมริกาเนาะนู่นน่ะยาวันที่กดจั่วเป็นตัวต่อเราโจอีสงที่จีนูตัวนู่นเนาะ
Testing. Okay. Looks like I'm the interpreter again. Anyway, first and foremost, I'd like to welcome the mayor and everybody who came tonight. Today, this month, served as 48 years since the Hmong community has come to the United States.
他前到啲啲嘛，俾對美人นู่นน่ะ呀，俾จีมงกุศลก่อ啊，也俾係ลุมงเอกกันเนี่ย到เกิดลุมงจีเทีย
Mr. Mayor, he would like you to learn Hmong.
有學者個那是不知道啊，นู่นน่ะ呀，一路整整我俾有ตัวถ่ายจะเกี่วันนึงเนี่ยรู้ได้เช่นเนาะมัวดูเธอชื่อเธอจะเป็นขั้นตอน
Today is a very important day because we want to gather and meet with the mayor who leads the city.
วันเดียวมัวแต่整整有零นู่นน่ะ我被สามารถจะเจนึงจอดรู้ได้จากอเมริกา
And before we were able to do anything like this, we have to all gather and organize.
อย่ามัวท่านไหนพูดว่าพออย่าตูเธอหนึ่งเด้อไปเจนึงมง
And it is because of the late General Rain Pao who has led our family to the U.S.
ท่านไหนพูดรู้เรื่องมัวอย่าจะเกี่เขียนตัวไปเดี๋ยวสิวันเดียวตัวจะเกี่ตัวก็ไปจบตัวจะเดี๋ยวอย่าได้จี
General Vang Pao has, his vision has led us and brought us to the country.
giờ lấy tụ chuyện gì thằng này bún thọ cho cái cho bé chuyện này mong tua trong lúc đấy chơi nó giờ cho cái và mình ở dùng đi nu nó ở chỗ tôi thả thế cái tụi mình giờ bao tiền giờ cho hậu lựa chuyện chân trong lúc đấy chơi mấy cả nó.
And we wanted to recognize him for his integrity, his courage that brought us here to the U.S.
Thọ bé tôi cho lúc đấy chơi nó cũng bảo tôi thì cho cái mua nông nghiệp nữa thằng này bún thế chuyện này mong nó政府mấy cả nó giờ mua cho cái nhà cho bé luôn đã giờ chỉ đi rồi sao từ luôn đã cho bé chỉ mong còn nếu như bảo chân mua chủ thầu xa chỗ chi và tôi cho lúc đấy chơi nó cho lúc đấy chân nó.
And since we have came to U.S., we have always gained that freedom and that equity within the Hmong community.
Mua cho cái nhà chân cái cần đâu cái vấn đề của nó giờ chỉ chạy rồi chỉ mong và bên ngoài ta bằng sự của tàu giả từ thế cỡ tàu lúc họ trong khi trò được bên họ nói giờ tụ chuyện gì và bên bỏ chân thế mua mình.
And because of us spending time in the U.S., we have been able to do a lot with freedoms, equities, and across different areas and sectors.
Vì thế giờ rồi nó trồng phơi làm cái cả thế khi sau cái rồi bên trái này nhà nông nghiệp rồiท่านnày muốn cho bên chế này mong thầuส่งkhác Việt Nam rồi thì sẽ tổ chức cáiตัวcho lúc đấy chuyện nó.
And because of that, we have came to U.S. since 1975, since the fall of Saigon.
Giờ thầu bên tôi cho lúc đấy chuyện nó thầu bên tôi nhỏ này nó bên xã thì bên chỉ bảo lúc này bị dùng đi vào này nó nhận nó.
Have we thought that we will achieve a life like today in America?
Thì chỉ thầu bên bảo dùng đi nó bên kia bố trí cho cho cái dân dân lúc đấy chuyện America nóต่อตัวเจ้าโลกย่อมเกตเนาะอย่าจอตือต่อป้าจงอเมริกาจอนชาติเตียเลยยังว่าจอเกไฟปูเสดชิลัวจอติเตีย
And by coming here, we have achieved the greatest freedom that we can achieve anywhere else.
ขณะอย่าลืมนู่นน่ะเป็นตัวเขารู้ตัวเจเนาะเขาว่าจะเนี่ยจะจีจะรอจะอยู่เป็นตัวขณะอย่าได้จี And
I wanted to thank you to all the families, all the relatives who came here tonight.
Để bây giờ này bọn tôi cho tụi tôi hôm đó là người dân mua người ít ba ít bờ chỉ mong cho chung nhỏ tạo tạo chế chỉ dùng mua cho lụt chân cho một thạc kia rồi cho nhau chế thì gì cả.
Sorry, just like that. And for you, for all the friends and families who came here to go back and also tell all the great things we're doing here for the city to your families.
เขาเดี๋ยวอยากขอได้จีท่านไม่ยืนนะอย่าอีเจ้าหกเกย์เท่าอีลูตั้งจีโจเขาเป็นรุ่นดงเฟรชโนนะจีอาโจอีตัวสิไปอย่าไปสหรัฐอเมริกาเลยหนึ่งยังย้อนตัวได้ใช้โซ่แล้วตั้งจีท่องเปล่าโจเสด็จที่是错路是很当地呢，就因为在经济可能比较是我们自当地。
And Mr. Mayor, you are the road and also the light, not just for us, but for the whole community in the city.
เขากูบอกตัวกูหายตัวเลยเนาะชาจุดจั่วลูกก็อ้อลินดูเป็นจอมพงยอลูกดงเฟรชโนนอมัวยีฟามิลี่กูตัวชัวหัวเนาะกูจะจั่วฟามิลี่หล่อหัวเนาะหล่อย่อหัวเนาะเจ้าพงเทียรินดูจงรูหล่อเจ้าโถเดี๋ยวไปมาโป้เดี๋ยวไปดูเจ้ามงหัวเนาะอย่าเลิกตื่นเที่ยดูอย่าจ่อไปหัวเรื่องต่างๆอย่าเลิกตื่น
In 1979, there was only about 8 Hmong families here in the city of Fresno, and I have came and visit, and after visiting, I have brought 9 more families, and since then, the Hmong community has grown.
这里古包贴古包，上一次做过一就做 baby 莫被求那要好那老 family 莫要好那，他那本也要多多讲错路，中正经的莫来từ等的。每月呢，就有一度cấp蛋是。
In 1986, we started celebrating the Hmong New Year's here in the city of Fresno, and every year since then, the General Vang Pao has always came and visit. And at the time, Mr. Mayor, your captain for the police.
Để mù nếu mà tôi ít tu và tu chief police nếu mà tôi nói tu mayor còn nó tôi thua lúc chạy thầu ta này bún nhỏ ấy bé chỉ mong nó mua chỉ bé chỗ là mua ngàn lo nhưng bỏ mayor nó tôi cũng thua lúc chạy chỉ khác còn nó giờ khó khăn to thì cho cái lúc rồi chỉ này mong nó lo thế dùng của lúc chạy.
So you progressed, eventually became chief, and then now mayor. And every year you have always supported the Hmong community, which is the love you have given us.
Thì còn nói ấy có chuyện chính thọ ý là lù liệp lông cho bây giờ này cho tí có sẽ đời yếu tố sửa xì tụ thời nên của cho bây giờ giờ lúc tới chỉ cho bây sửa cho chán tới chỉ là dùng môn luôn thì là giờ này thì bây nó giờ nó sẽ có trên cổng tề có có thể là mình mua chân nó có trở đi lúc họ phía cái lúc dựng một bỏ.
And for all the friends and families here to continue to support Mr. Mayor, who is continue to be the light for all of us here.
Cú thằng của hồ cho bé chỉ mong của cho thời nên chỉ chính bé tổ nó bé nó một hai cho bé cho nhà cho gì để tu tên tài để kỳ nhớ tập vào tập chế còn do giống hay tiệt cho lũ chạy ốp phá nên cổ lâu nó bây giờ nó cho tất cả là season cho cái sai đó.
And to all the Hmong leaders in this room, for you to go back home to educate, to let your friends and families know that the mayor, Mr. Dyer, will be running re-election in 2024, and for you to support, and your family to support him.
Có bây giờ đời có một cái công ty chỉ có chân ở một bao nhiêu chỗ bên đó là một công ty bọn bà có mấy giờ cho các tàu dùng thì ở đó nên là gì giờ bây chỉ công ty còn nó bây mua ít tuổi chưa là tôi chỉ bỏ bây thế này là từ cho cái lúa mua nông nghiệp rồi bây giờ chỉ bỏ giờ đi bây cho chưa thì bây giờ sai mấy giờ có tàu dùng đó đây nào.
For us all here to vote for him, because we do not want somebody who we don't know in the seat of the mayor.
Họ lòng sẽ chắc là họ bỏ những này bây giờ chỉ mới họ chỉ cần này bây giờ mong từ tu chùa tu dê tu chỉ dùng đầu tu lo tu lo là nếu chỉ bỏ hay ít lo lù phe ô lù sử dụng dê mua nó có bây bỏ tiền nếu chỉ nhẹ bây còn nó cũng chỉ bỏ.
Since I have known him since 1979, he has always shown supportive regardless of who you are, whether you're smart, your skin color, or who you are. He has always been encouraging and supportive of us.
Còn nó cũng chưa tao lên nó thọ hay choท่านnày giờ có cho xe thì có giờ đi từ dùng thời nên của cho tôi chúng nó mới bị sử dụng đó bây giờ thọ chỉ tu choท่านnày cũng có nếu như là có bác hạ xã thế và bên chế mong lúc xe có nhọn giống hay thì bây giờ nó giờ lên từ cái có bên sở trâu lo sở là ta do hay thì lên từ cho cái quán ba bên chủ một thơ còn nên riêng rồi toàn thế nàoท่านnày cũng lúc rảnh ngồi thế này tụi chỉ đó bây giờ sẽ đọc bên chế này mong chùa lúc xe thay vào trâu.
And Mr. Mayor, I wanted to pray for the Lord along with General Wayne Powell, who's up there, to continue to bless you and with the Hmong community to continue to support you on your journey. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Nyalongma. Good evening, everyone. Good evening for Mrs. Gerry and Gerry Dyer. I'm happy to be here to support a mayor who called Fresno home and who know the people of Fresno. But more importantly, who action show how much he believed in goodness of Fresno by making Fresno a safer place to live. Thank you.
Gerry Dyer ก็ยังอีตัวมัวปังสือ
Mr. Dyer, your I'm very happy, and you are a very brave and courageous person.
cú tàu bao cả bao nhiêu ở phạt lâu là cho họ luôn trong phải sợ nó na
I have known you since 2004 in this city of Fresno.
cúยังchân tàu hay thì cóยังbỏ cú tụ chỉ thế cúยังcho trở này phun ba bỏ chỉ hai mùa tàu lúc cộng chế nọ chế học khá tư cóยังอยู่chủ nhà ca.
And I'm pretty sure you remember me along with my husband who has been with the late Jeremy Powell since then.
Có những ít tuần mấy giờ thôn đó có chừng qua ít tuần này là police ship chứ ta chỉ cũngยังbỏ hay thì bé tê chết bé châu là do tê cộng hậu là do tê này là mình tu mình nhỏ cần đâu tía là do xử lý của tụ chỉ này nó cô lôi này vào phòng nó tàu xẻ cho thổ lũ sẽ hở colony.
And regardless, at the time, you are a chief, and regardless of whatever the event is, which is Hmong New Year's, a graduation, or even my husband's Colonel Vang Phong's funeral, you came.
Thổ lũ sẽ hở nó chúa đầu man chạy COVID cực kia li ý cho tứ chỉ tàu chua xa li do cho tàu chua chỉ cho over tàu chồng chỉ sống cho số sư bé cho nó chỉ tàu chua xa của tụ chỉ cho tụ tua kia rồi cho COVID chỉ tàu chua xa na.
During the pandemic, Colonel Vang Phong passed away due to the COVID and because the vaccine was not available for him yet.
Ta chỉ có là ít tụ mấy giờ có những chừng mua có lũ xe nhiệt chua khó hay thế có do chủ tua chơi của lũ rõ chơi của cho tôi chẳng xài lũ rõ chơi của cho sinh tử rõ có của nhà có chín chạy tụ cá mò bé tua là có tua bé chia là có chia thì ăn của thầu có trong.
And you're very courageous. You came and supported my family at the time.
Chỉ hay có sư một chút tôi nọ chứ xử lý cho mong cho America cho lười dạ nè tàu tua rồi của tụ chỉ luôn tăng và tàu support của thầu của tụ chỉ tua chỉ tàu cho chua là xa nó của thọ và nè chua đời châu chỉ hay mong chỉ hay America chỉ hay nâng từ của thọ và nè châu của dân mua để điều thay tàu nè cho chơi mua khởi kia tí gì bây giờ nè tôi có remember ta ít tiền năng.
And my family will forever be in your debt because you have came to support our family at the time that was hardest.
Giờ trong li nó cú tàu cho lũ cú tu nhẹ va phòng nó cú tu chỉ tàu qua ít tu khờ nổ nó nửa tàu qua ít lũ trong nhẹ lũ nó chừng nhau trở giờ nửa tàu cho đi phòng chỉ nó là một nhau lũ trong nhẹ lũ trong ba phòng chỉ tàu tua chừng nhau tới chừng lo.
And my husband has made a promise to continue to bring the SGU that are still in the old country here.
Cú yo chỉ ra ít tu nhẹ ở yêu lo cả xe tiền à. từ giờ là anh chỉ chạy luôn thôi thế này lo luôn nó yêu chỉ bố xe tiền à. I don't want to waste my time, my life. Okay? My husband, General Wang Pao, brought us to the United States. Mà giờ li nó thầu của tàu của đại citizen, của tàu cha của sát thế gì nó hay thì I will be a good citizen. Của tàu cho lũ li nó hay là.
When I became a citizen, I have raised my right arm to promise to be a good citizen.
Giờ dùng li nó của tụ chỉ chân chạy của là chúa của 1% của yo chơi này cho con nọ con chữ của yo chơi này cho cùng hậu dùng đoạn zero là nhận double zero là triple zero. Đây là.
Although my husband has passed away, I will continue to support all elected officials 100% and not 0%.
Giờ li nó giờ bé bỏ tàu hay để ít tu nọ chứ dùng li có
nhớ trò hộp y lúc xí đi y lúc khẩu thì là y lúc thầu và bên nhớ định tế tại đó nó là tức chỉ hay có second thường sự tu senator tu president the United States nó bây giờ có chơi được cái gì kia.
And Gerry, we have known you for a long time, so not just talking about the mayor, but if you'd be signing for the senator or even the president of the United States, we're behind you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I get started, I want to let you guys know about my good friend, Vanessa Vu, that's standing up here with me. Vanessa Vu is an upcoming athlete, a rising star. Her and her family just recently moved down from Minnesota so she could play golf professionally. She has just graduated high school and she has a full scholarship into Fresno State University. I am extremely honored and excited to be here tonight to speak to our Honorable Mayor Gerry Dyer. My name is Aiden Tao. I am the first Hmong professional motorcycle racer. Just a few days ago, May 17th, was the anniversary of Aiden's Day, proclaimed by the Fresno City Council members and Mayor Gerry Dyer. Thank you, Mayor, for the prejudice proclamation. I actually spent that day speaking to a few hundred children, such as the Youth Job Corps program, the Fresno Traffic Zoo Days, and Camp Fresno. There is no place like home. I am proud to be living in the city of Fresno because our roots are here and we are united with the best leadership like Mayor Gerry Dyer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me up here. And thank you so much, Mayor Gerry Dyer.
Good evening. It's always an honor to be able to address and introduce our special guest tonight. The ability to learn is the most important quality a leader can have. The ability to learn is the most important quality a leader can have. Mayor Dyer, thank you for always willing to be with our community and learn about us, the stories, the struggles, the triumphs that our community has overcome the last 48 years. As mentioned earlier by Captain Zongyata, it's been 48 years since our Hmong community stepped foot on this soil, or the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. It takes a big heart to look back at the history of the Hmong people, or the Hmong Americans. As you can see in the back, we have some pictures of our late general, and we have our Hmong American history. And I say Hmong Americans because it's our history. Successful leaders see the opportunities in every difficult situation rather than the difficulty in every opportunity. Thank you, Mayor Dyer, for always listening and willing to work with our community through difficult times, may the issues be big or small. Our community is honored, proud, and put our trust in you as our mayor. We are grateful that you are our friend to the Hmong community. Colin Powell say it best. Trust is the essence of leadership. With that, we trust that you will listen to us tonight, as we do have a lot of, not concerns, but opportunities to share with you as the mayor of Fresno. You see, Mayor Dyer, we want to thank you first for providing a budget and creating the Office of Community Affairs to hire the first ever Hmong community liaison, Sandra Vang, or Sandra Lee, to represent our Hmong community. And that was a position that our community fought for prior to you being mayor. But it took you to be mayor to be able to carve out that budget and hire that position. That means a lot to us in our community. When I say cultural training for the officers, I don't mean to train our Hmong officers to be culturally competent, but to train the entire department to be culturally competent, because we are a diverse community, not only for the Hmong officers, but for all ethnic groups that are within the police department. There's been many situations that are specific to our Hmong community where Hmong folks have been killed, murdered, or gone missing. And we don't have the right police force or the right police officer who are culturally and linguistically competent to come in and help communicate to the community. I believe I've addressed this with you when you were the chief and also when you're the mayor. A good objective of a leader or leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well, and to help those who are doing well to even do better. We may have a lot of Hmong officers that are doing poorly, but as leaders within the Fresno PD, there's always opportunity to help them so they can do better. And that is something that I like to, or our community has asked me to share this information with you as you are the mayor. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. I'm confident that there are a lot of great leaders within the Fresno PD. The community said, tell the mayor, we need more Hmong people on city committees and board. Sometimes some of these committees and boards have certain requirements that we do have Hmong folks that qualify to be in the committee, but they are not qualified to advocate for our community. Let me repeat that again. We have Hmong community members that qualified to be in the committee because of their requirements, but they are not qualified to advocate, to articulate, and to understand how to help the community or help the city. So this is something that we like for you to take a look at the different committees or board, such as the Planning Commission, the Housing Committee, Police Committee. We want to see how our Hmong community or individuals who are qualified and can advocate and help educate the city of Fresno to do better, to be better. We'd like for those folks to help you, Mayor, so that it will make your job a lot easier. We have approximately 1,200 or 1,200 Southeast Asian farmers in Fresno County, and the majority of these farmers live within the city of Fresno. A lot of them are poor farmers, families, single parents. A lot of their kids are grown, went to college and moved away, and the parents are still farming, and they're struggling. The pandemic didn't help at all, made it worse. So we'd like for more opportunities for these farmers. I think this has been something that has been addressed to you already, and your cities working on it with different funding sources. But we still like to make sure that you hear that we know and we are concerned. One of the big concerns with these farmers is having cool storage, refrigerator to store their crops before they deliver the crops to farmers market or neighboring markets that they sell their crops to. Sometimes it costs a lot to rent these cooling storage. So a lot of these farmers struggle doing that. And I know the city of Fresno has a buyback program, a funding that was given to a certain organization, but that's still not enough because of just the sheer number of local farmers. And energy. There's a lot of information, mainstream information coming out of the city of Fresno regarding education, a lot of opportunities with different schools, charter school, career technical education, lower energy costs, but there's not a lot of information that are targeted information to our Hmong community, to educate our community. I see it, I understand it. But a lot of the folks here, a lot of the folks that spoke before me, they don't comprehend, they don't understand, and they end up with a high energy bill. They don't know how to look at the different opportunities of Education Institute that are here. I saw you in a San Juan King Valley playing. Things like that are important to our community, but who can communicate that to our community? We have our ethnic media, different channels that the city, if they can utilize those channels to educate our community, that's also important. What is the current outreach to our Hmong community at City Hall in terms of immigration, workforce? We like to know, we like to see. Sometimes the folks that are seeking help are the ones that don't understand and don't speak the language. But for those of us that do speak the language and do understand, we know where to go for help. But what about the ones that don't in our community? The veterans, the widows of the veterans. Affordable housing, a lot of information on affordable housing. How is that being communicated to our Hmong community? What is affordable housing? Is it Section 8? Is it tiny homes? A lot of these information, we like for it to be channeled properly so that our community can understand the hard work that you have put into the city. Mental health services. Is it culturally appropriate? Is there opportunities at City Hall when I walk in that somebody can do a little triage and point me in the right direction? Civic engagement. I want to thank you for making time and taking the opportunity earlier today to go table to table to acknowledge and take photos of the folks that work so hard. As a committee member for this event, we reach out to our community folks, folks that are retired, folks that are working a minimum wage to help and to provide and to support our great mayor. That's why they're here tonight. So I know they're very grateful for that gesture of just acknowledging them and taking time to take pictures with them. So from the bottom of my heart, Mayor, I thank you for doing that. Back to civic engagement. I know we have a lot of our clan leaders that are here this evening. One of their goals is to meet with you as a clan leader. Not only to get to know you, but for you to also know them. It's always great to know people, but it's hard when people don't know you. So their goal is to get to know you so you also know them. I know that Sandra has been trying to set up a meeting just with you so that they can be advisors to you, to make your job, to be that trusted messenger for each of the 18 clans. So I look forward for the next meeting with you. At the same time, they want to meet with individual councilmen, because I believe we have Hmong community in each of the council district in the city of Fresno. So you can also encourage the councilmen to have those meetings with our Hmong clan leaders as well. Mayor Dyer is always targeting the youth to improve community and create future opportunities and future leaders. The city of Fresno was a recipient of $7.4 million state youth workforce development grant to recruit, train, and employ more than 110 hard to hire youth and young adults as city of Fresno employees. I don't know if our community was aware of that, but that was an accomplishment in itself. But we'd like to know and learn more about that as well. Today, the city has hired 134, and they're expanding. There's a whole list more of what the mayor has accomplished in the city of Fresno. Trust, and as mentioned earlier, somebody that knows us, but more importantly, somebody that is a friend of the Hmong community. And many elders ask me, why are you so confident that the mayor cares about us? And I talked to a few of the veterans about this, and they said, we know because whenever we talk about the late general, he's the only white guy that would cry. He's the only guy that will be in tears because he is a good friend of the father of our Hmong people here in the United States. Because our Hmong community is a loyal people. And when we trust you, we believe in you, if we're loyal to you, we will stand with you, next to you, behind you, or in front of you to protect you. That's why our people was easy to recruit by the CIA, because we are a very trustworthy community. So tonight we trust you, we're confident, we know that you're going to get reelected a second term as the mayor of Fresno. With that, can I have everybody please stand? And welcome the Honorable Mayor of Fresno, Gerry Dyer, and his wonderful, intelligent, supportive wife, Diane Dyer, to the stage.
To be here tonight, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I know all of you are busy, and you could have been a lot of other places, but you chose to be here. And I'm also humbled when people take their hard-earned money, and many of you being small business owners, and you use it to support someone like me in elected office, and I don't take that lightly. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for your contribution and your presence tonight. I also want to say thank you to our veterans, SGU, and to the widows. The service that you provided to our country, the American soldiers' lives that you saved, the fact that you fought so bravely for the United States. Thank you for that, and for coming to this country and really teaching us what loyalty and bravery is. So thank you very, very much. I think you all know I have a deep love for the Hmong people. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I have a deep love for the Hmong people, for the Hmong community, for the Hmong food, for the Hmong dance, for the Hmong culture. And I had a deep, deep love for General Bing Pao. He was a friend of mine, and we went to dinner and lunches many, many times over years. over decades. And he was a man that I really came to love because of what he taught the Hmong people. He talked about the importance of education, the importance of respecting elders, and he talked about the importance of family. And that is something that I've always said that we could learn from the Hmong people. And the last thing is that I love the Hmong New Year. I think Mitch already left, but I love the Hmong New Year, and I love going every year. In fact, out of the last 30 years, I think I've missed 2 Hmong New Years in the last 30 years. So I do love that. And that is, I love it so much, that's why when I first became the mayor, made a commitment for the first time ever to give $50,000 to the Hmong New Year, because I knew the Hmong New Year had suffered and going through COVID and needed some money to make it work. But I didn't stop there. I came back the second year and gave $30,000 to the Hmong New Year, and I hope that allowed it to be successful. And it's also the reason that we in Fresno, that I declared this last week, this last Saturday at the Center, the first in the state of California Hmong American Day in the city of Fresno. And I said all that to say this, it's because I believe in One Fresno. That is more than a mantra or a theme, it is my heart. I believe the fact that we have the 9th most diverse city in the United States means that we should be One Fresno. Regardless of where a person lives, regardless of their race, or regardless of their political party or their neighborhood they live in, everybody has value. And we should treat each other with respect and dignity. And that even goes for the homeless people that are out there in our community. And you spoke, Pao, about the Hmong Museum. I recently put in my budget a budget request of the Arts Council. Many of you don't know, but we have Measure P tax dollars that come in. They support the parks, they support the arts. And that Arts Council is entitled to have money, and then people apply for grants from them for particular things on arts, but also cultural. And I'm about ready to give them this year, for fiscal year 22, 23, and 24, $15 million. I am going to be right there with you, Pal, and whoever else wants to stand with me, as we go knock on their door and submit a proposal that they would be the first to contribute to the building of the Hmong Museum in Fresno to house those artifacts. And I spoke with Pal earlier about a location that we have in mind, but we'll keep that under wraps in case it doesn't happen. We talked about the farmers, our Hmong farmers in Fresno. We have some Hmong farmers that farm over here at Peach in California, 4 acres on our property that we're converting to a park. But it is my commitment that we not touch those 4 acres, that those folks continue to be able to farm there, even though we're converting that entire area into green space and soccer fields and a baseball field and a place for the Hmong youth and young adults to go and to recreate as well. But in terms of the Hmong farmers, we as a city gave out of our CARES dollars $450,000 for a crop buyback program. And I'm proud to say that 146 farmers took advantage of that. And there were a lot of families that benefited as a result of it. But we didn't stop there, because this last year we gave $1 million in our American Rescue Funds to the farmers for that same buyback program. And 67 farmers have been helped so far with $104,000 spent. We still have $900,000 to spend on that. We've already helped 67 families. So in total, between those two, 213 farmers have been assisted with those dollars, and there's going to be hundreds and hundreds. A facade program for businesses, and that is being administered by the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. There's 28 Asian businesses that applied, 12 of those being Hmong, and we are very hopeful that each of those will receive $25,000 for a facade improvement on their business. And you talked about the committees, the commissioners, the involvement of the Hmong in our city government and the appointees. It is true, we don't have very many Hmong that are participating. And it's unfortunate. Pao Yang is part of our Immigrant Affairs Committee. We have Mayir Vang, who is a part of our Parks, Recreation and Arts Committee, but she just submitted her resignation here recently. So if anyone knows of a person to replace her that has some passion for the parks, I would love to hear about that, and because that is my appointment. And then we also, Mitch Hurst, that's on my One Fresno Foundation. And then all of you know we created the Office of Community Affairs, and Ms. Sandra Lee is a part of that group, and I rely heavily on her to liaison with the Hmong community for a lot of things. And part of that is to recruit people so that Hmongs can become more involved in city government. So Hmongs can be more, not just involved, but to be employed by city government. And you know, in the city of Fresno, we don't capture it by Hmong, or it's captured by Asian. Although we're going to do a better job of breaking that down. But we have 276 Asian employees in the city of the 4,000 that we currently have employed. I would love to employ more. In fact, we have about 500 openings right now in various jobs throughout the city, many of those being engineers jobs. And so we have a lot of jobs available for that. And that's about 7% of our overall workforce. And Powell talked about the police department. We have 41 officers and 10 sergeants who are Asian. And you're correct, Cam Jong was the first Hmong to be promoted to sergeant. I didn't get the opportunity to promote Cam, but I will tell you this, Cam, I was the one that hired Cam as a cadet and as an officer. And I know that because he went to the police academy with my son-in-law, Corey. And there were 70 cadets at that time in the police department, and we were going through the recession at that time. And I laid off 70 cadets in the police department. And I kept 3, Brent Garcia, Corey Hastings, and Cam Jong. And so that's why he was promoted to sergeant later. So you can tell those guys, those officers, that I kept them on the department. So I'm gonna just touch on a couple things. Pal, you already met on them or talked on them, but I do want to make a commitment. Whatever I can do on the Hmong Veterans Honor Flight, I think it's a great idea. I really do believe, you know, for folks that haven't been back there to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials, it is something that takes your breath away. And I do believe that our veterans should have an opportunity to do that. And I don't know how we do that, but I think it is worth a conversation with the folks that are out there taking back our World War II veterans, that maybe there's an opportunity to partner with them in some way or fashion. Flags for funerals, I haven't forgotten. It is largely a federal responsibility at times, but if the federal government doesn't respond, then we should at the state or local government. I'm more than happy to be somehow, some way involved in that effort. And I don't know where to go for that, but I do think that Congressman Costa is one of the go-to people that we can make that happen. And then I've already asked my secretary to set up the Klan meeting, so we will be meeting with the Klan leaders here, it's my hope, within the next couple of weeks, as long as we can make that happen. So let me just highlight some things. You spoke about public safety. We're at 900 police officers in the city of Fresno, the highest number we ever had. When I became the mayor, we had 838, so we've added 62. We've added 66 firefighters in 2.5 years, and I'm getting ready to add 4 more. Violent crime, you're right, last year the numbers went down substantially, but let me tell you where they're at today. Murders in our city today compared to last year have gone down by 52%. And violent crime is down 18% in our city. So we are going in a good direction. Chief Balderrama, who I hired, he's a great police chief, for sure. Homeless, we've now, through Project Off-Ramp, we've housed 1,800 of our homeless population through that Project Off-Ramp. We've are partnered on our own outright 13 different motels in our city, and we are placing our homeless population in those shelters providing them with counseling services and the like, and then navigating into permanent housing or back with their families. The Beautify Fresno, say no more, we've had 260 cleanups. Our volunteers have cleaned up over 250,000 pounds of trash, and we have cleaned up over 3 million pounds of trash between our Beautify Fresno volunteers and our Beautify Fresno teams, all in just 2.5 years. Hard to hire youth, those that have been young adults, anywhere from 16 to 30 years of age, those that perhaps haven't been given a chance in life, maybe have never had a job, people that have been touched by the criminal justice system, our foster youth who are timing out. We are hiring them. We're now at 182 as of today that we have hired in the city of Fresno that are working in many of our jobs in parks, in our planning development, in our clerk's office, in public works. And they are turning out to be very, very good employees. And I'll tell you what else we're doing. We're taking that out into our nonprofit world now. And we're offering those youth an opportunity to work in nonprofit agencies, and we will pay for their salaries. And what we do for those youth, as well as the ones we hire, many of them have barriers to work. That is, they don't have clothing, transportation, childcare, or training. And we provide it all free. Even emergency shelter up to 30 days, because many of the youth that we're hiring, they come from horrible backgrounds, they're underserved, disadvantaged, and honestly, they've never had a job in their life and they don't know how to get a job or keep a job, and we want to make sure we remove those barriers, and we do. And for the zoo, this year, yes, we did 10,000, we're going to do 18,000 this year. Youth and disadvantaged youth and their families free into the zoo year-round, any day of the week, and we're going to be able to provide that to them as well. And Camp Fresno, we've sent over 900 of our kids in the last 2 years. This year already, we have 900 that have signed up, registered to go. We anticipate that we're going to probably get to about 1,500 youth that we can send to Camp Fresno for a 2 or 3 day camp. And many of these kids have never even been out of their neighborhood. So we've got some great things happening in the city of Fresno. I am honored and humbled to be able to serve as your mayor. I promise I will keep that humility. I promise you I will continue to work hard, tirelessly, every single day, early in the morning, late at night. And the reason is because I love this city. And I'm going to do everything I can, just as I did as a chief, to make this city safe. I'm going to do everything I can as a mayor to make this city better. But I need one more term to get it done. That's why I thank you so much for tonight. Thank you, and God bless you.